Hello friends, Smita here, and this is our next class on class. Voucher class with GST. Here we will learn how to automate the vouchers so that we can save our time. Mistakes can be minimized. So let's start with voucher class. What is voucher class? Why it is used? What are the benefits of it? So voucher class is a alteration of the voucher types. Different types of vouchers we have payment voucher, we have receipt voucher, we have journal voucher, sales voucher, all types of vouchers we need to create a voucher class, we need to alter these vouchers. So it is used to automate the accounting allocation in transaction. By creating different voucher classes, we can automate the accounting allocation in transaction. The transactions can be entered automatically so that it reduces the time, it saves our time, and it reduces the mistakes also. It is nothing but predefining the entries to make a voucher entry in a simple task. In other words, it is predefining the entries so that you can make a voucher entry very simple. It is available for all major types of vouchers like contra, payment, receipt, journal, sales voucher, purchase, debit note, credit note, sales order, purchase order, delivery note, receipt note, rejections in, rejections out. Every type of voucher we can create voucher class. It is very useful for sales invoice, and for most of the things it is used for sales invoices. It helps to have predefined sales invoices where we can define the taxes, freight charges, discounts, and other charges. So it can be say we can say that it is a predefined sales voucher where taxes are already added, freight, if any other expenses, other charges needs to be added to that invoice, that can be listed over here. If discount amount is needs to be deducted as a cash discount, it can also be adjusted. Even we can have the different types of charity that gets deducted from the sales amount, that can also be added to sales invoice classes. So saves a lot of time and minimizes the mistakes. So let's start creating different classes. So voucher class for payment, receipt and contra vouchers. This enables entering the data in single entry mode. Whenever you create class for payment, receipt or contra voucher, it enables you to enter data in single entry, where one side, that is either debit or credit side, is fixed and another side needs to be entered. This saves time and minimizes the mistakes. So how to create the same? Go to gateway of Tally, alter voucher type. Suppose we are creating voucher class for payment voucher. So select the payment voucher and create name of the class. So here we will create two types of voucher classes for payment voucher. One will be cash payment and other will be bank payment. Cash payment class will be used for making all cash expenses, and bank payment class we will use for making all types of expenses through bank account. So let's create both the classes. So first we will create a cash payment class in the voucher payment voucher. Step for creating cash payment class. Go to gateway of Tally, alter voucher type, select payment voucher and write the name of the class. Here our name of the class will be cash payment. So let's start with Tally. This is our company Alpha Supplies Private Limited. Now we are in gateway of Tally. Alter voucher type. Which type of voucher we would like to change, or we would like to create a voucher class. This is for payment, to type payment or select the payment voucher. Now in general I will just inform you this in a brief. Select the voucher type, it is by default, it is payment type. Abbreviation for this, that is alias for this voucher is PYMT. Activate this voucher, yes, this is already activated. Method of numbering, this voucher is automatic. Automatic numbers will come. Just like we have created numbering for sales voucher, we can create numbering for each and every voucher. And we can have advanced configuration also. Use effective date for voucher. No, we provide the date of transaction only. Allow zero valued entries, that we have already enabled for purchase voucher, purchase order voucher, sales order voucher, where we need to enter the transaction without any value. Make this voucher type optional. This also we have seen in previous classes what type of optional vouchers are there, and if you want to create all the payment vouchers as optional, then enable this or activate this option. Allow narration for in voucher. Yes, every voucher has a narration part, so we provide narration. So if this option is activated, we can provide the narration. Provide narration for each ledger. For each and every ledger, if you want to provide a narration, press yes. It will ask narration for each and every debit side and each and every credit side. Track additional cost of purchase. This we have enabled for adding cost to the goods purchases. This we have already seen in the previous classes. Enable default accounting allocation. At present, it is no. If you want to make default allocation for accounting purpose, you can allocate the same. Now in this session, we will learn about the name of the class, different classes. So we will create a cash payment class. After entering the name, press enter. It will open next window. Here, what we have to exclude and what we have to include. Which type of groups will get included or excluded. See, we are making payment in cash. So we don't want bank ledgers. So bank account groups, the ledgers created in bank account, we will not include in this. So exclude will be bank account. Then again select bank OC account, bank OD, everything. Now press enter. Now we are in include these groups. So as we are making cash payment, we need cash ledgers. So cash ledgers in cash in hand group. So select that group. Others, keep it aside because we have taken them in exclude these groups. Now ledger. Which type of ledger will be used? So as it is a cash payment, we will use cash ledger or petty cash ledger. Enter. Now we will create another class. So this is what we have created, cash payment class. Now we will create a bank payment class. The procedure is one and the same. Go to gateway of Tally, alter, select the voucher type, payment, and enter the name of the class. The name of the class will be bank payment. Okay, and here let's create the name bank payment. Press enter. Again, it asks for which groups to be excluded and which groups to be included. So in first part, we will exclude all cash ledgers. So cash in hand groups get excluded. Press enter. So now we are in the second part, include these groups. Here we will include all the bank related groups. Okay. Now press enter. Sorry, this will not be there. Now, as we are making payment through bank, so we will select the bank ledger, Axis Bank. So this is how we have created two classes. If you have more than one bank, you can create the name of the class as Axis Bank Payment, HDFC Bank Payment. There you will select only the means while paying, you will select the particular name of the bank only. So we have created two classes. Press enter and Control A or press yes to accept. Now, how to use this class? Next, payment voucher class. For example, on 1st September 2022, we paid cash for Xerox expenses 250. This is one transaction. And on 1st of September 2022, we paid electricity expenses by check. Check number is given by of rupees 3,500. Now, question is open the payment voucher and use different classes for paying this money or for entering these transactions. So let's start with first transaction. Go to voucher, open payment voucher, press F5 from your keyboard. Now it will ask what type of class you want to use. The first question is we paid Xerox expenses by cash to 50 rupees. So we will select cash expenses. So cash payment will be the class. Once you select any voucher type, then in that case, your voucher will get converted into single entry system. Enter. See, it is single entry system. On just change the date 1st of September. Enter. See, it is not asking over here which account needs to be used for paying that amount. So by default, we have created as a cash payment. It is selecting the cash ledger by default. Just we will enter the printing and stationery. We don't have that ledger. We will create it printing and stationery expenses account. It is indirect expenses. Inventory values are not affected. Type of ledger not applicable. If GST is applicable, go through this procedure. Otherwise, keep it as not applicable. As it is Xerox expenses, no GST applicable on this. Just press Ctrl A and amount is 250 rupees. If you want to check the same entry in double entry mode, then just change the mode Ctrl H to double entry. See, just a minute. On just a minute, we'll enter once again. Payment class, cash payment, 1st of September, printing and stationery, 250 rupees. Enter, enter, being paid for Xerox expenses. I will page 1st of September, enter, page up, or you can check through display, more reports, daybook. Display accounts, ledger, printing and stationery. See, here is the entry. If you want to check it in a double entry mode, just go to change mode by pressing Ctrl H, select the mode. See, the entry actually is printing and stationery account debit to cash. So this is how we can save our time by creating the class. Another question was we paid electricity charges by check on the same date, that is 1st of September. So 1st September electricity charges. So electricity expenses we made. See, as we are in the payment class, it is not asking the type of class. See, on the top middle, the class is not applicable. If you want to use any class, what you have to do, if the same voucher is open, just press once again the key for the same voucher, that is F5 for payment. Again press F5 from the keyboard, then it will ask for the type of class to be selection for selection bank payment. So it is now bank payment class. Credit side is already fixed, that is Axis Bank. Now we have to provide all the details of debit side. So it is electricity expenses. We don't have that ledger. Electricity expenses, indirect expense, and GST is not applicable on this. It is 3,500. If you have paid more than one expense to bank, so just create the ledgers and have a compound entry. Give the narration, check number, everything. date is 1st of September, and being paid for electricity charges will be the narration. So this is how payment class, or you can create the class for receipts, contra, everything. So payment voucher class is very simple and can be used for saving the time. The most important is creating sales class, sales voucher class. Again, the steps is one and the same. Go to gateway of Tally, alter voucher type, select the sales voucher and give the name to the class. So now what we need to enter through this class is one transaction. First transaction is on 1st of 10, 1st of October. Company sold 1 HP computer for cash. Use regular sales invoice. And then second one is on 2nd October, company sold 1 HP computer for cash. Sales amount is inclusive of donation to World Health Organization at the rate of 2%. So these are the two entries we will enter through sales by creating two classes. So first is we will create regular class for sales. See, so just open alter section, alter masters, voucher type, sales, and enter the name of the sales invoice. Press enter. The screen is somewhat different. In the exclude group, we have to give the groups of accounts which we need to exclude, and in include groups we need to add, we need to provide the list of goods groups to be included. So it is a sales invoice. So generally in sales we don't have the creditors, we have debtors group. We use bank ledgers in sales. We use branch ledgers. If we are selling goods to branch, we need that ledger also. Cash we need. Bank centric creditors we don't want. So centric creditors group can be excluded. And in include we use bank, OC, OD, branch, division, cash, and debtors. So these are the groups. The ledgers created under this group can be listed while entering the sales voucher. Enter. Now, here in the third part, default accounting allocation for all items in invoice. Here you have to select the ledger of sales. So we will create the sales, select the sales ledger. And now here, whether you would like to alter the tax class. If you want to select the tax class to be for alteration, you can say yes. So it will ask the classification whether it is within the state or is interstate sales, purchase, whatever sales. So at present we will select, we will not provide this option while entering the class or entering the entry transaction. Now it is a simple sales invoice where percentage of sales is 100%. This you will understand in the next type of class. So this is 100%. Now we learn GST, we learn additional charges for the sales. So what we will add other charges for example, while selling, freight charges incurred. So this freight charges needs to be added in the invoice. Then GST needs to be added. So all the types of charges we will add that we need in each and every invoice. So ledger will be freight. First we will select the freight ledger. We have already created this ledger. If you want to check, just press Ctrl Enter. It is indirect expense, and here we have allowed this one, that is enabled, including accessible value for calculation of GST appropriate to goods, and method of calculation will be on value. So freight expenses will be flat rate. Each and every invoice will have 500 rupees as a freight charges. There is no need to rounding out. Then we have As it is a sales invoice, we will use all the GST ledgers, that is output CGST. If you want to remove, if it is 0, it will get removed. Output SGST and output IGST. See, this sales invoice voucher we are creating, voucher class we are creating, but we don't know to whom we are selling, whether the party is within the state or outside the state. If it is within the state, the CGST and HGST amount will get calculated, and output IGST ledger will not appear in the invoice. If it is sold to other than the debtor of other state, then directly output IGST will get calculated. So this is what the sales invoice class. Enter. We will create this class and we will pass the entry first. Now go to voucher, sales voucher, and it is asking for the type of voucher. If you don't want to follow any voucher type, voucher class, then you can select not applicable. Otherwise, you can have sales invoice. See, this is the sales invoice. It is asking for party name, date, and particulars. And here we will enter the particulars. If you are say providing services, you can have this accounting invoice. If you are selling any product, then change this mode to item invoice. So see, now here is the empty place where we will add all the products, amount, rate, everything will get added. 500 is the freight charge, which is flat rate for each and every transaction, and GST will get calculated depending on the party, whether it is interstate sales or outside the state sales. So suppose the first question is, on 1st October, company sold 1 HP computer for cash. Use regular sales invoice. For cash means it is within the state sales. So change the date 110. Ledger will be, party name will be cash. Press Control A. Control A. HP computer. We have two computers. In MG Road, go down. We are selling one computer at the rate of 50,000. Enter, enter, enter. See, it has calculated the freight charges. Okay, so it is, let's press Control A. See, freight charges 500 rupees. 50,000 is the amount, taxable amount. Along with that, 500 is the taxable amount. Then output CGST is calculated, output SGST is calculated, but output IGST is blank. Just press enter. As output IGST is blank, there is no amount, or we can say it is zero amount. Enter. Give narration. Enter. Accept this invoice. Now what we will do, we will open the sales register, display statement, account books, sales register in the month of October. Press enter. This is our invoice. See, as while passing this transaction, there was a output IGST which was blank. After entering the invoice and saving the same, the transactions having zero values or the ledgers having zero value gets removed. So this is one thing. And if you want to check the GST analysis, press Ctrl O, GST analysis, and use details. So taxable value is 50,000 for items and freight expenses was 500. So both of them are taxable. So total value of the invoice which is taxable is 50,500. On that, say GST, SGST was charged, and total amount of GST is 9,090 rupees. This is how the GST analysis is available for this particular invoice. So you got this. So it has saved our time. It has saved us from the mistakes. it might be there ki, sometimes we might forget to add freight charges, or sometimes we might select the GST wrong GST ledger, or we might just have only CGST ledger and we do not add SGST ledger. So these mistakes can be minimized by creating this invoice classes, or you can say voucher classes. So this is one of the voucher class. Next we will create another voucher class. Now again go to alter voucher type, sales voucher, enter, and here we will create another class. The name of the another class will be class with charity. So steps for creating sales voucher class. Name of the class is sales invoice with charity. So suppose whatever amount of goods gets sold, in that out of that we give 2% as a donation to WHO, that is World Health Organization. So though it is 100% sales for us, the sales amount will get converted into 98% and 2% will go to World Health Organization. This is what the system is. With charity, we are creating the sales invoice class. So sales invoice, we will give name as with charity. Enter. Again, we will exclude creditors and include bank ledgers, division bank, bank OC, branch, and creditors, cash in hand. All these things we will include. I have given the screenshot of this invoice class in the PPT. Now we will enter sales ledger as a 98%. So whatever we sell, suppose we sell 100 rupees things, in that our income will be 98 rupees and 2% will go to, that is 2 rupees will go to charity. So here we have given 98%. Our cursor will go to the next part only if here we completes with the 100%. So again it is asking for other ledger name. Suppose we will create new ledger name as donation to World Health Organization. There is our indirect expense, and GST is applicable. No, it is not applicable as we are providing donation. So include in accessible value for calculation of tax, no, and it will be 2%. So this is how we have created the sales ledger as 98% and another ledger donation to World Health Organization 2%. Now again here, what type of additional charges and taxes to be included in invoice rate will be, again it is asking for the type of calculation. So it will be whether it is additional excise or flat rate, surcharge, or what type of charge it is. Select the option from the calculation methods available, and value basis as a flat rate will be 500 rupees. No need to round up. Output CGST, output SGST, and output IGST. See, it is asking whether remove if zero. If any of the ledger has zero value, after saving that invoice, if you once again open that invoice, you will not find that particular ledger. So remove if zero is activated here. So this is how we have created another class, sales invoice with charity voucher. Again, it is the sales voucher. If you want to change the class, press F8, that is sales again, and select the class that you want to apply for this particular transaction. Now the question is, on second 10, company sold 1 HP computer for cash and sale amount is inclusive of donation to World Health Organization at 2%. So on second 10th, cash sold. So I will change the date. It is cash sales. So sold for cash. Select the party ledger as cash. The stock is HP Pavilion from MG Road go down. 1 unit sold. Enter, 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 and provide eBay bill details. Enter. See, this is how we have entered sales invoice with charity. There is no difference. Just like other sales invoice, regular sales invoice, we have entered this sales invoice with charity. But the magic is here. Save this voucher. Go to sales register by through display more reports, accounts book, sales register, and here are the entries for month of October. 1st October we sold 1 HP computer with freight charges and GST. On 2nd October also we sold one computer with freight charges 500 and GST. But see the difference between both the amounts. If you check this amount of invoice is 59,590, and in this 59,410 means the balancing figure is our donation part. So if you open this entry, regular entry can be seen, even this one. Though it is showing 59,410, in the entry it shows 59,410. Okay, and here is 59,590. But both of them showing the difference amount. Why? Because the balancing figure is to the donation. So you can check this through profit and loss also. It means our sales amount get reduced and somewhat amount is used to pay donation. So this is our, if you go through the sales ledger, it is showing 50,000 as a sales. On 1st of October, it is showing 49,000 as sales in the 2nd October. So 1,000 rupees is a charity. So where it is, we'll check in indirect expenses. See, 1,000 is here in the charity, but you will not find any separate entry for this. If you press enter over here, you will arrive at the invoice where we do not find the charity ledger at all. So this is how the charity entry is made through by creating the sales invoice voucher class. So this is the sales voucher class with special arrangement of donation. So this is how we can create different types of voucher classes to save our time, to minimize the mistakes. And we can automate all the accounting allocations in transactions by creating different types of voucher class. So you can create voucher class for every type of vouchers, that is for contra, payment, receipt, journal, sales, purchase, debit, credit, sales orders, purchase order, everything. And most effectively you can use this for sales invoices. You can create different classes in sales invoices. While entering the transaction, again press F8 to select the voucher class as per the need of the transaction. So try to apply voucher classes for all your invoices in real life so that it will save your time and you will be with zero mistakes. So thank you for this session. Thank you.